out, we'll sort the world out. I think that's the way I see it.
Oh, indeed. And I have with me that it wasn't easy to reconcile the black pill with reality because if you take it to its ultimate extent, you're gonna double tap yourself.
Yeah.
But now I figure my zero fucks given skill has gone up to about 11.
Well, you definitely have to get a thick skin or a whole bunch of zero fucks given. Exactly, yeah. Because sometimes it's really mind breaking. Like someone with weak will might not survive learning all they can about the black pill.
Oh, absolutely. So uh, I can certainly say that I receive immense benefit from viewing MGTOW Church. But what was your inspiration to start that?
Yeah, some people have asked me, and I don't really have any clue why I started it. I think one of my friends in real life was talking to me about churches and stuff, and I was all like, yeah, they're all closing down. People aren't allowed to go visit their churches. And often a lot of people, I guess, visit their churches for answers, but the church will never give them the answer. They just want them to stay there, sitting in their seat listening. And I'd rather it if you came, you listened, you took some answers and left, and or you can stick around. That's cool. But just trying to, I guess, put all the information I've gathered into one spot with, I guess, easy language to listen to. But if I'm not around in the future, say I die some horrible death, but at least I've got a few episodes of church up there on the internet that my son might be able to watch one day or something, and you can get some information from beyond the grave.
Oh, definitely. And that's why I keep my content up because unlike some people, I'm constantly referring to it because who can you trust more than yourself?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way. Yeah. It's a good way to look at it.
And I I used my channel as a source of brutal honesty because you have to rant and purge to get rid of that rage so it doesn't burn you up from the inside.
Yeah, well, it is good to vent out stuff like that. Yeah, for me, I just use like I guess a pen and paper on myself. I write it down and then maybe I'll film it or something, and perhaps sometimes I won't even send it out to the net. It'll just be done. But ever since I gave up the rage in 2017 or something, it's been real easy to get over things that make me mad. I don't even know how I got rid of it really. I just one day I was just woke up and was like, I'm done with this, done with all of that holding me back.
Sometimes you got to remember that the only thing between you and your pursuit of excellence is that bullshit story you keep telling yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who you're trying to convince, sort of thing. Like, am I trying to convince myself or am I trying to convince someone else?
Well, of course, you got to convince yourself first. Of course, the blue pilled world doesn't quite see it that way. No, they think you working on yourself is is an act of ego gratification or selfishness because you're not spending your attention, time, or money on someone else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying there. I got a friend in real life who was talking some shit about that earlier, who was like, all your information that you're spreading, you're gonna get someone killed or something. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you're so wound up in your own little life, you can't see someone else's information, and you're just gonna straight go to the your information's gonna kill someone sort of phase. And it's like, no, no, no. People have their own mind. They can research their own stuff and figure out what's good for them or not. You know, if
Uh-oh, you kind of faded away there. See what's going
That
on.
blue pill
Oh, there we go.
is having a refresh or something. If you want to break it up for a quick second, I can ask you one of my questions I've got written down here.
Oh, I got just a couple more for you.
Oh yeah, no, all good.
Now, I want you to take off the tinfoil hat so the cosmic rays will reach your brain, and tell me, where do you see yourself in 3 years?
Yeah, that's funny. I think that's one of my questions, except that I think I might have said 10 years or something. In 3 years' time, I think I can tell you exactly where I'll be. I'll still be in this country. I will have moved down to my old family farm, have rebuilt one of the houses. I probably already would have built a bigger, better MGTOW church, one that can fit at least 10 to 20 people. And then I think I'll have a whole bunch of chickens, hopefully 30 or 100 chickens, and maybe some livestock down there on the farm. It'll be amazing.
All right. Now we have a few. I don't know if I can call them viewers or victims in the chat.
Yeah, I
One of
see MGTOW life there.
the Luke, MGTOW Life, Billy the Goat, and I see them in the YouTube chat,
And
and
Phil
I
Radio.
wanted to encourage them, if they have any questions, to please post. Yeah, Derek Edwards, Black Pill Radio. My goodness. Well, you know that they're probably screen printing this because they need fresh material for their dartboard.
Nah, those guys have got a good Sunday to get into today, so they're just waking up with some of the best live stream.
That's right. Okay, so I didn't want to abuse you too long, so I only prepared a few questions. If you have some for me, you are more than welcome to ask.
Yeah, so I wrote down like about 8 common questions people might ask someone, and even and also ask you. So I got, what's your strength, and what does MGTOW mean to you? Shit like this, that like, do you need to pass a drug test to be MGTOW? And how do you measure yourself how do you measure success as a MGTOW? And like, what superpower would you have? And what keeps you around after you've learned everything? Once you've learned everything, what keeps you here? What keeps you sharing? Just some common questions.
Oh, those are some good ones. Okay, lay it on me.
All right. Well, you may as well start with something similar to what you just asked me. Imagine the world in the future. What impact do you hope that will be achieved by MGTOW?
Oh, well, we know, I call it a tsunami. MGTOW Live calls it an avalanche. And in both cases, you don't get a lot of warning. You may understand the conditions, but unless someone has really taught you what the signs mean, you're not going to know, and you will only have a brief bit of time to seek shelter before it's on you. And And that's why it's going to be so effective, because the blue pilled world does not want to acknowledge that we are having an impact. You think about the jewelry stores, bridal shops, baby clothes. All those places are closing, and the blue pilled world says, "Oh, it's just part of the normal economic upheaval." No, it's not. Those are specific things that are associated with the blue pilled world that we know more and more men are withdrawing from. So don't believe the haters when they say we're ineffective, and if you're leaving, nobody cares because that nobody even notices you're gone. Well, we can tell.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. The avalanche that slowly builds up or whatever, and slowly then just dumps all over everything because they couldn't handle it in the first place. All
Well,
these shops.
you think about the a numerical progression. The classic science question was talking about bacteria. So at if the volume doubles every day, theoretically, well, sure, you may look at that container and it's half full. Well, how many days was it doing that before you noticed anything? And now the next day it's going to be full and then overflowing. And you could be scratching your head saying, well, wait a minute. I passed by this a while ago and there was just a bare spot of green in here. Yeah, because we're all flying under the radar. We're all learning and growing, and we're teaching other men how to be able to sidestep, moonwalk, or nope the hell out of that relationship minefield. And
Yeah.
and it's great to see more and more kids that do get it. Because I remember I spent way too many years in the blue pilled world. I mean, I'm an old man now, but I'm free. And someone like Yam, who's only 25 years old, and from the little bits and pieces I hear from him, he's almost at my level. Not that I'm bragging. I'm just saying the level of red pill wisdom he has already is something I sure wish I had at his age.
Well, it doesn't take long to gain it all, you know. If you sit down and start learning, you could know everything within a year. Just how to utilize it might be hard to grasp, or when it comes into your life might be hard to grasp. But I think all these young people coming into it who are learning the everything within a year, let's say, and then are basically at like the highest level of red pill knowledge they could ever get. I just wonder if that statement rings true to them, which is like you're only one blowjob away from returning to the plantation and forgetting everything because of your age, you know, because you're so keen. Sometimes that might be a hard thing to overcome, but then, you know, some men might have already overcome it, and that's sweet. I just wonder how it will be.
It is. It's certainly true, and I can say myself. I mean, I've been abstinent 4 years, and I almost fell off the abstinence wagon just because of a bubble ass packed into some jeans.
Yeah.
But we're fortunate. You have enough red pill wisdom, as I found out. It operates in the background.
Yeah. It operates in the subconscious mind, like, you know, once you've learned it all from like a year ago or past years, well, then your mind can access it properly because the mind only ever thinks from a past point of view. You know what I mean? It can never really think of a future point of view because it can only think from what it's lived or what it knows. The mind, that is.
Yeah, you can extrapolate, but predicting the future is not an easy thing to do. And no, my Negro Damas alter ego is silent today, so that's a good thing.
Oh, and then so I've got another question for you, and it was one that I ask myself sometimes, and it is, why do I or why do you stick around after you've learned everything? You know, why are you still here? Because a lot of people will learn it and then they will leave and then go do their own thing, and we'll never hear from them ever again.
Oh well, I just MGTOW Absolute Knowledge turned me on to the website Illimitable Men, and it talks about going into monk mode to refresh yourself before you go back into the blue pilled world. Now, his approach was certainly valid, but the writer said it was a temporary thing, and it's just like going to a spiritual retreat for the blue pilled world. You know that because you don't think that there is an alternative. So that it's not an easy thing to do even there, because you're deliberately pulling yourself out of that programming. Now, of course, we know with them it's just more programming, but the concept is valid. But it isn't until recently that we have obtained this kind of focus, as in wanting to do it as a lifestyle. Usually when you hear about it, you're hearing about the guy that's sitting up there on the mountaintop, and the acolytes are making a supreme effort just to reach him, to try to gain this obscure knowledge that he has. But it's not that way anymore, because here we are, half a world apart, but our interaction is creating something greater than the simple sum of its parts.
Yeah, man, I get that. I think one day I probably will leave MGTOW, but I'll still practice it, but I just won't do anything on the computer anymore because I'm done with it. You know, I'll have more real life things to do. So while I'm sitting in the city, I figure I can drag as many men with me as I can on this journey and give them the knowledge they might need and some of the tools they can use to help tell themselves or others what to do or what's happening.
Yeah, and actually, it's not even leaving MGTOW, because that red pill wisdom never goes away.
Well, the way
it can go dormant if you're not actively feeding it, but it's still there.
You know, I think by sticking around, I'm sort of betraying MGTOW. You know, I haven't quite gone my own way because I'm sticking in the group with everyone. But eventually, I'll go truly my own way, and no one will see me except for my family, my boy, or whatever. You know, but I'll be living a real life instead of a semi-online life like it is now for everybody.
Well, I know in my case, I started my channel as a means of brutal honesty and hardcore evaluation.
Yeah.
And you can look through my playlist, and I was just thinking about this yesterday. It's like every time that I would reach a point, it's like, here I am at the peak, and then my vision clears, and oh wow, look, there's another trail going up that way. Okay. So, completely withdrawing from society, getting away from these ignorant fools that want to double tap me just because they don't want to understand me. Yeah, I'll do that. But remember, even a monk needs a little socialization, and everyone needs validation. But you just don't always want to admit it to yourself. But when you are a red pill man of wisdom and action, you learn to obtain that from different sources, from ones that are destructive.
Yeah, and I think I'll be training my resolve and not seeking out so much action or not seeking out so much interaction when I've been living in our biggest city in the country, and I'm fully gonna gap it, go back to the family farm, and like our homestead's really dilapidated, so I'm gonna spend a good 3 or 4 years just repairing it and restoring it back to something respectable, and then I'll probably live in it for the next 10 to 20 years, or however long. And so during that time, I'll have to change who I associate with in real life and things like that, because I have a lot of friends and company that already come over and hang out when I least want them to, or things like that. So moving out to the middle of nowhere is gonna highly stifle people coming to my front door, which is pretty good.
And my view is almost the same. I mean, I plan to isolate myself, but you can see in my videos that I'm living out my retirement vicariously. I'm out there in the middle of nowhere, but if someone makes the effort to come see me, they're more than welcome. Just remember to call first. I learned the hard way. If you just show up on someone's doorstep, sometimes they are not happy to see you, even if you are carrying that $100 bottle of scotch.
Yeah, don't turn up in the middle of the nighttime without letting someone know. Hey, you might get a shotgun shell to the butt.
That's right. Oh, the butt. Wow, you're nice.
Well, you give them that quick moment to turn around and run away before you fire a shot.
And it depends, depending on my mood, it could be ball and buck, the ball and chain round, or we may go straight to the dragon breath. So,
Those dragon breath ones are nasty, aren't they? 3,000
oh
degrees of
yeah,
fire spewing out at you.
of course that is a pretty big signature. Once you fire that, they're sure gonna know where you are. So just like in the fire drill, fire, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, man, I
But
think
I
that's
think
just going to send them
I
halfway
think
across the
tactics
world.
are I think tactics are another discussion altogether. So we'll just let that one slide on by.
Yeah, tactics are definitely something you have to learn and study as well. Like if you want to be a survivor anywhere, and it would be a whole topic, I reckon. Tactics is a strange thing. Well, so I probably got one more question here on my list that
Okay.
let's see where we got here. Oh yeah, yeah. How do you, as a MGTOW man, measure your success? Because if you've
Mm,
given up from the world and society at large, then that also means you've given up the tropes that society's given men for what actually is success. Like the blue pill success is like having a wife, a kid, a dog, and a white picket fence around your house or something, or maybe the 50s one. Now it's probably like having a wife, keeping her is probably the trophy. Having to keep a wife is probably your blue pill success story now. But as a
well,
MGTOW man, how do you measure the success?
but we got to start right from the basics. And the first step is one I'm not responsible for. First, I'm glad if I wake up in the morning, because
Yeah,
that
that's
part's beyond my control. But if I do, that means I got another day in front of me, and I have limitless opportunities. So I have so many things on my mind. And I've always been that way, but I didn't understand myself. You know, when I say Homo rationalis in form, Renaissance man in execution, I'm not kidding. There are most days I'll wake up, I'll have no idea what I'm going to work on. Now, I have business, a business venture that I'll be setting up. It'll be active by the end of the year. I'm writing a science fiction trilogy in which I blend in not only a lot of life experience, but my own sort of subconscious analysis of friends that inspire me. And I call them stunt doubles. You know, somebody who is you never know where your inspiration is going to come from. I mean, I was inspired to write a whole section of story just by seeing someone at work. You know, I'm writing all this stuff and I'm taking a break. I walk into work Monday morning and I see this one lady. I said, hey, that's my character. And it inspired me to write the whole backstory about her going to college and getting into the position she was in the first place. Now, other people, I've talked to them. Like there was one lady at work. She was in her 50s, and she was walking like she was a little stove in one day. I was like, "You okay?" She says, "Oh yeah, I didn't go in to eat dinner until 10 o'clock, or 2200, and our workday starts at 0500." It's like, wow, what's up? She says, "Oh, I was just busy breaking horses." I'm like, oh shit, and
Yeah.
and it's like I would only see her in the lunchroom because she was working a different shift, and it turned out she was a contractor in Iraq during the early 2000s. So I actually wrote a story about her stunt double, who was an army general, and in the development process, I kept coming up with skills more appropriate for a line trooper, and trying to figure out why. And one of my advisors said, well, maybe she's bloodthirsty. So that's what it was. So imagine there you are on the battlefield. A bird colonel shows up in a helicopter, and she doesn't go to see the commander. She takes her rifle, puts a bayonet on it, goes right to the front lines, and starts slicing people.
Yeah, it goes to get some.
Yeah. So I didn't. She left before I could show her the the parts of the story I had developed. But she saw my development notes for the character, and she said not only did she approve, she had taught her daughter to do the same thing. So, and I didn't know about this, but I guess in real life she's cut a fool more than once. So it's
Yeah,
just
well, a lot of people
well,
tell
it's
me about
just an example about how this sort of skill has been hiding in the background, and without red pill wisdom, I couldn't have been able to develop it. So I've got the business, I've got fiction, and I've got so many papers scattered around. Just now I'm getting them all in one spot. So there's always something to stimulate my mind, and
Yeah.
I haven't learned everything. That's why that, that's why the journey isn't going to stop. The journey is much more important than the destination.
Yeah, that's right. Being a journeyman, you know that there's no end and that the real reward is everything that you get along the way.
Oh, absolutely. So I've got lots of stuff on my mind. There's lots of stuff I can do. But with my black pill leavening, if lightning struck me down right now, it might hurt for a moment, but then I'll be on the other side saying, okay, that was cool. What's next?
So I suppose to answer that question in smaller words, the like, how does a MGTOW man measure success? Is that I guess we as MGTOW men we create our own goals and then succeed at them, and that's how we measure our successes every day that we live, or every week that we live.
Exactly.
New set of goals that we can achieve.
Exactly right. There's always another goal in sight.
Because I was trying to aim these questions, like, I feel that you're very similar to myself. So I didn't really want to hit you with any personal questions, but I thought I'd ask some questions that other people can yield nice answers from, you know?
Okay. She's all right. Look, get over here.
That's your flatmate in the background, eh?
Oh, it's my roommate and the dogs.
Yeah.
So let's see now. I'm peeking in the YouTube comments to see if anyone else has questions.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it's too early for people. It does seem like it's bright and early over in your area.
Oh, yes, it's only 0914 here. Most people are barely getting over the hangover.
Yeah, from Saturday. See, it's Monday at the moment here, and what is the time? It's like, oh yeah, it's 3:15 a.m. So I'll probably have to get up in like 5 hours or something. I had my boy stay up late last night, so he'll sleep in, and then drop his ass off at school because the lockdown is finally finished last night at 11:59 p.m.
All right. Yeah, I've been peeking at YouTube and hearing about the prime minister saying, "Oh, BLM protests were fine, but people going out for other things. Oh no, you can't do that." People were going to march against mask mandates or something like that, and he's like, "Oh no, you can't do that."
I just saw on YouTube as well. There's a whole bunch of crazy stuff going down around mask mandating, and keeping people inside and forcing quarantines and stuff. It's going to get real crazy out there before it gets better.
Oh, definitely.
That's that egg that got burned off.
So, let's see. Are you done picking on me? I'm almost done picking on you.
Let me see if I got anything else here. Blah, 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 blah. Nah, these are all just normal sort of questions. Yeah, I think I'm done picking on you, mate.
Okay. So I wanted to give you the floor for a minute and ask you if you have any words of wisdom to share with the brothers out there.
Oh, geez. I should have written something down. Let me have a look. Okay, well, for starters, I want to say thanks for having me on here, mate. Thanks for letting me into your little show. And much respect for that. I see you around in a lot of other shows, and I reckon that's pretty good. So to have more of a common sense level head out there is a good thing. Because what is it? There's a lot of new people coming into the manosphere, and we don't want them to get like the wrong idea about things, or we don't want them to have twisted ideas and see those ideas prevail. We have to sort of secure the next generation of people coming in, and like that could be anyone, because we come in at different ages. A lot of people are older or younger or really young. So I guess as a final word, it would be that when you are searching out information on the internet, basically trust no one. Believe none of it and question every little bit of it, and then you'll come out with the right information in the end.
Exactly. That was something that I came to a while ago when I was still immersed in the media. I could see how things were starting to slide, and it's like, why is it that I listen to the BBC and I hear this story, but it never shows up in America, and they're talking about a subject Americans should be interested in. But
Exactly.
it used to be that there wasn't that much spin, and you could easily tell when someone was telling you something that was off script. But now there is so much spin that everyone has an agenda. It's not even hidden anymore. It's a naked, open agenda.
That's right. They don't even hide that stuff. It's overtly in your face every day now. Like some things I learned about in school, I watched videos of years ago. I try to watch it now and it says it's blocked in my country. And it's like, dude, these videos are about my country. Why are they blocked in my country? And I think that's what kind of you're talking about. There's things that will be going on overseas, but then it's blocked in your country so nobody can actually see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that I remember is the guy that live streamed himself shooting up the mosque.
Yeah, that's illegal for me to watch. I'm not allowed to see
Yeah.
it or watch it or even give it to anyone. And it happened in my
And
country.
and I'm not watching it, taking notes so I can do it here.
Hard. We just want to see what the truth is of the matter, and then it's like,
Yeah.
you're going to block us from looking at the truth.
And it's the same with the riots going on here. I don't watch any mainstream media reports of it. I go to YouTube and I find people live streaming on the spot. So I know what's going on.
How are the riots going to?
Well, we have the same type of people here in Boise, but Boise has a little more character and spirit. So the extremists haven't really shown up here en masse yet. And I'm planning to get out and do a little protest myself. I'm not gonna be an extremist, but I'm just gonna stand there on the corner with my sign and my flag, and if you like it, honk. If you don't like it, don't get too close, because I got an air horn, wasp and hornet spray, a taser, and a shotgun. And my level of response will be gauged by your level of interference.
You could be like, your level of response can be gauged on their level of common sense. But we all know that common sense.
I do it because a right not exercised becomes a privilege that is granted on a whim by the ruling power, and then it ceases to exist.
That's right. Yeah. And with those protests, a lot of people have forgotten some of the main rules of it, right? And that's like, you go to the protest, but you go there to take names and to build up a smaller community of like-minded people. So when you go to protest, I would suggest taking the pen and paper and taking down emails and things like that of people, so that you can build a small militia or a small community of the people who believe the same things. Because often we'll go to a protest, forget to do that, everybody will turn up, and then the next week nothing happens because nobody did anything.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. I think people are so overwhelmed that they haven't really given us any questions.
Oh no, yeah, I saw that the chat's gone a little bit quiet there. But that's all right. Maybe we answered them all for them. They're all just too scared to ask any questions.
Well, hopefully we will see something in the comments afterwards. That they may just be too overwhelmed by our greatness to be able to respond.
Oh, either that or they're just sitting here with us saying yes and nodding along. You know, they believe the same things we do. They see what we
or
see
or
and they feel
or
the
they're
same.
doing this motion, you know. It's like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, the gears are slowly turning around. That's right.
Yeah, so remember, you know, you are responsible to and for yourself. No, we're not force feeding you any information. We're just making you aware of what's available. It's up to you to take the ball and run with it and do what you will.
Yeah, do your own research sort of thing.
So, that reminds me. American sports are pretty much infected with politics. But
Yeah, I've
now,
seen some of that
I
lately.
I got a hankering to boot up YouTube and watch me some Aussie rules football because those guys flat get after it.
Well, they make sport such a big thing over this side of the world, and it's probably one of the biggest money makers you could get around here as well. So if you were a famous sports star in our country, which you've probably got a really good chance to be because there's only 5 million people, you know, you'd make so much money. But then also with Corona Chan going around now, I don't know if you'd make any money.
Well, it is kind of creepy, that they've had sporting events going on again, but they're in empty stadiums and
Yeah,
arenas.
that'd be weird.
It's kind of surreal.
But then I
But
imagine when it went from being a game to becoming a professional sport, it was a bit weird for them then too, you know, for like having like 50 people watching to go to 50,000 or 10,000 people.
yeah. So my brother, thank you so much for giving
Yeah,
up a
man.
little of your time to put up with my inane babbling. I certainly appreciate it.
No, that's all right. You know, some people say that I'm a little bit insane for making my own church on the internet. And so
Oh
thank
no,
you
no.
for putting up with me and my stuff.
Well, you got to remember two things. First, there's a difference between crazy and insane. I'm crazy. Yeah, I tell people about my wife and future, and they go away muttering. It's like, hey, what is his problem? But see, if you're crazy, you know you are not what society says is normal, and you understand and compensate for it. If you're insane, you don't know, and that makes you a hazard to yourself and everybody else. But remember, crazy is only what 50% plus one of the crowd says is crazy. So don't follow the established guidelines. They have I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a handbook of like psychology that they use to say, okay, this is such and such a condition, and therefore now it qualifies as quote a mental illness. And
Never want to get qualified as
the,
something like that because then they'll start
well,
slipping drugs on you and prescribing you with things and
exactly.
all that.
And there are so many more things that are in the book now. Resistance to authority is considered a mental illness.
Well, man,
By by
you don't want to start down that little road because that could be like a whole book or an episode. You know, the teachers at
exactly
school
that
trying to prescribe the boys like drugs, and you know, it's like, well, what's his problem? He's just a boy that wants to run around and climb trees, and he doesn't want to sit there and do your stupid work. And they're like, no, put him on drugs or something like that.
that's right. Oh,
Yeah,
and
that's a big disaster waiting to happen. Oh well,
let's
man,
see.
I might head for the
What was
door.
the
I've
other
got to go
point?
catch some Z's. But yeah, thanks for having me,
Okay.
and a major shout out
Oh,
to
and the
you,
other
man.
point I wanted to make was uh, now we have a record that even though gathering monks is the equivalent of herding cats, it can happen.
No, yeah, it can. Who knows? We'll have 3 people next time or something, and me and you can both pick on the person with questions.
That's right. And you haters, lean into this. So thank you so much for sharing a bit of your day with me, Shinobi Wan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, and the future's looking really dark because what time? Oh, yeah, it's 3:30 on Monday. So you look forward to nice darkness at 3:30 a.m. And if I get the lot of numbers, I'll send them through to you.
All righty.
Catch you later, bro.
All right. You take it easy. All right. So, brothers, a single mom on the phone. Oh, what the hell was that? So I got to apologize. I didn't realize until we were gabbing for like 10 minutes that I forgot to start the StreamYard link. But I believe that the audio is going out through YouTube. I'm a little new to StreamYard. It's the first time I've tried to use it. But don't worry, everything is a work in progress. So brothers, I'm going to slide on out of the way and let you enjoy your day. And I only say a video is coming from me that is another benchmark. And that's all I'll say about that. If I believe, no, if I say anything, I'll ruin it. So you will just have to wait in anticipation. So until next time, remember, I still say, when one teaches, two learn.